Alright, let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to another edition of the Uper Farmer Cigar Deck Talks. Back out on the deck. How are y'all doing tonight? I'm doing pretty good. Excuse me one second here. I see a huge swarm of mosquitoes coming out. I know it doesn't do much, but I'm going to go ahead and light my citronella candle. Just bought a brand new one for the season. Might as well exercise it, right? Scientifically, this doesn't do much. Got to sit with talk to an entomologist, the bug doctor, and he talked about how useless they are. Actually, the cigar will probably keep way more bugs than the candle, but it's also nice light. So what are we smoking? What are we drinking tonight? From Alex Bradley, the Tempest Naturel. A fun little cigar. Not really sure why it's Naturel when it's actually kind of got a Maduro wrapper going for it. With a little bit of plume. That's kind of fun. Well, maybe it's not plume. It looked it. There may have just been some ash from my ashtray. And the drink tonight, the UPA Upper Peninsula Ale from Upper Hand Brewery. I don't know if I've had this one or not. Let's give it a little bit of a try here. It is a American Pale Ale, as they warn, so it's going to have all those wonderful, wonderful hops that, of course, I love. Not really. You're new to the channel. I do not like the hoppy beers. That one's actually, for an IPA, not too bad. The last one I had on here, all it was missing with the bunny was so damn hoppy. So what are we talking about tonight? You know, we just got done with dark, EMS dark, EMS darker, and EMS darkest. I sat back, and there's something I realized I forgot to talk about. So a bonus dark episode. What are we talking about here? It is a certain letter that is traditional in fire, EMS, and law enforcement. It's the "in case I don't make it home" letter. This is a letter that you write up and put in your locker at the station or in your gear bag. And the idea is, if something happens to you, where you die on the job, this letter will be delivered. Usually it's parting words, sometimes more like a will where they give instructions of what to do, what not to do. Sometimes it's extra instructions outside of a will. Whether you want your significant other to know maybe where you got some money squirreled away that you want to put inside the will, because that's kind of a public information because the lawyers get involved and whatnot. But mostly it deals with your last words. A parting message, if you will, to your family. Because when a medic dies on a call, a lot of times they're alone. It's scary. Mine was almost delivered 3 times. Probably more than that if I actually was to be honest with myself, but 2 times for sure it was damn close. One was the big ambulance accident, as most of you know about. The other one, which may or may, I think I've told the story here, we had a prisoner who planned on murdering us to take our ambulance and go see his girlfriend. Wife, girlfriend, mother, whatever it was, some relation. He was going to murder us, and he had multiple knives on him. And I know there is some studies out there that says that instinct, or that feeling, that you get that feeling in your stomach, your sixth sense. I know a lot of studies say that's not real. I firmly believe it is, because mine saved my life that day. And had it been a different medic who was on, they would have been taking him home in a body bag. Because that prisoner was gung-ho and ready to kill, and not look back. It's kind of dark. How many of you guys have professions out there where you have to have a letter in case you don't come home? Huh? Do any of you guys who do graphic design or influencers or maintenance guys or chefs or hell, even doctors and nurses don't need them. That is one thing that separates some of us frontline public servants from the rest. Us coming home safely is not guaranteed. Not even a little bit. I'd always make sure we weren't fighting when I left for work. I always gave my wife and kids a true honest-to-God hug and honest-to-God told them I loved them. Because there was a chance. Some days higher, some days lower, but there was a chance I wasn't coming home. Every week I had to do that. Every week I had to kiss my children and hug my wife, and knowing that that could be the last time they'd ever see me. Now, in case you're wondering, my wife did get to read my "in case I don't make it home" letter. On my last day as a full-time paramedic, full-time on the rig, I went home. Of course, I took the letter with me. Mine stayed in my locker. There was instructions. There was, depending, there was about 2 to 3 different people whose responsibility, there was one person primarily whose responsibility it was to deliver my letter. A lot of other people are like, well, I wouldn't deliver. Would you expect me to deliver? I was like, no, I absolutely do not. They never did. I got to deliver my own "in case I'm not coming home" letter to my wife, which was a very somber and weird moment, to give your significant other your last words, your dying words. There was no secret instructions for any. Let me see if I get better exposure. That's a little bit better, I guess. Nah, that's worse. Well, that's better. There we go. Some better exposure. The sun's kind of messing with my camera here. So anyway, yeah, I got to give her the letter. There was no big secret messages or I was burying cash or anything like that, or confessions, deathbed confessions in there. No, it was just a letter letting my children know that I loved them. Let my wife know that I was sorry I wasn't coming home and I was leaving her with this burden. Wishing them luck. And yeah, kind of just going from there. Feel a little personal. Things I won't make in this video, obviously, for obvious reasons. But that was to be my my last words. And luckily, it never got delivered. It was kind of eye-opening, though, when I went to go work for the mine, and the mine I worked for, safety was so paramount. You only got injured if you were good and trying to get injured, is what they'd say. And it was weird to live in that type of world, to work in that type of world where, if it was snowing too hard, don't go into work. They'd find coverage. They'd have the guys hold over. If it wasn't safe, don't do it. Everyone goes home alive. You come in the gates alive, you leave the gates alive. And they meant it. It was a hard thing for me to deal with. I drove through a snowstorm, actually, to go to work. Only to get to work and almost, I got reprimanded and chastised by my boss, how I shouldn't have done that. That was a horrible decision. He felt that he misread me as an intelligent person when I was doing something so dumb. It's eye-opening, it's shocking. That they actually meant it. They meant it. Stay home. The weather's bad. I've never heard that before. Usually when the weather gets bad, that's when the extra transfers go out. More calls go out. I used to joke with my wife, I might as well just stay at the station. If they're going to have a snowstorm, stay at the station. That way I don't have to risk driving in, because they're going to call me in anyway. If there's one thing to sum up What makes EMS different from any other profession? It's that I'm not coming home letter. It's letting your loved ones know that, or you knowing that you may not come home, and you have to be prepared for that, and your family has to be prepared for that. That letter to write is very sombering. It's very powerful, though, and it's something not to take lightly, and I didn't. Like I said, I still have my letter. I did read it to my wife. I never read it to my kids. I'm sure we will later in their life. But I think that's the best way to sum up. What's the difference between being in EMS and any other field? You really should have "I'm not coming home" letter if I don't make it home. It's a dangerous, dangerous profession. And as one lector I was sitting through said, sometimes when you do make it home, you're not home. You're still out there. So there's your dark bonus, your bonus darkness for this EMS month. As I quickly here, very soon, will be making that decision, making that call. Am I going to renew my license? It's anyone's guess at this point. I'm not going to spoil how I'm leaning right now. But what do you think? Should I renew or should I just let it lapse? Anyway, folks, now everything's good and dark. Very depressing and mortified. I think this is a good time to sign off. So hope everyone's doing well out there. You're staying safe. We'll see you on the next one.